Hey guys, it's me Ram here, and welcome back to another episode of X Cubers 1 Scramble. In today's episode, I've got 15 cubers to do Pyraminx. Okay, so without any further ado, here's the scramble at the top of the screen now. And now, here's the tips.
Hey guys, this is John Gaynor, and we're going to be taking a look at this Pyraminx scramble here. So first I'm going to tell you what I would have done, and then I'll talk about some other potential solutions and why I think the one that I went with was the best. So here's what I did. I saw that this yellow top here, so the color, so the top that doesn't have yellow in it, immediately I see that this edge can be solved into here while solving this center. So I think, okay, so that's great. That pretty much takes care of that center and that edge. However, we still got these other ones. So when I take this edge and put it here, that leaves this one right here, and it's right in front of where it needs to go. So that means that if I want to set it so that that can go there, I just go like this, so that when I undo those, or when I do those, it solves it, and also solves the center. So then we've got just this other edge here, and what I thought to do was to kind of put it into that cycle. So I would have done those two tips first, but then if I would solve that first, and then here we are with this, I can just, now I'm to this point where if I put this down, it sets it up for this to be inserted like that, and then AUF, rotate, and then our last layer here. So that's what I personally would have done. But there are a couple other solutions that are options here, and I'll explain why I didn't go for these other ones. So first of all, looking at the green top here, you could very easily, and I won't worry about tips. If you solve this edge flipped, then you're left with these two, and what you can do, and kind of a nice little trick with these two, is that you can set them up into the good one flip case like that. So like you solve one, and then you essentially just solve the other, and that sets you up into this. And then you get this nice one flip, and actually no AUF, so this could have been a good solution too. But then you've got a 3 cycle. So generally, you want to look for solutions that have 4 move last layers, because those are going to be faster in general, but there are some exceptions. Another possible solution that you could have done here is to, again, we won't worry about tips, is to do a little bit of a setup to bell here. So we've got our 3 edges here, and if you solve this one, and then that one, so your goal is to solve that, and what that does is that'll kick this center up to here, but then this edge will be over here, and that can be solved, and I'll show you how. So if you do those first 2 moves, and actually that happens to solve this one as well, what you can do then is you can set this up into bell like this, but the problem is we just have to solve this center, so that's no problem, just do an R. And then into bell, and then to do a sledge there, and then we rotate and have a 4 move last layer. So that would have been another good solution. And then I'll actually take a look at a possible V first solution, as I know many people use that over top first. I'm probably not the best person to go to for, I'm definitely not the best person to go to for V first solutions, but what I probably would have done is right here is for the red V. So I kind of view this, and I use like top first tricks and V first a lot, but what I would have done, again ignoring tips, would have been, so like I know I can solve these 2 edges here using bell from top first, so I can do that, and that solves those 2, and then it'll be ready, but the problem is that other center needs to be solved, so I can just do that right off the bat, and then do a sledge, do that, rotate, and then this L4E case, which I do that out for. So yeah, hopefully you were able to learn something from that.
Hi, it's Dominik here, and I will show you my solution on this scramble. So, at first I will do R prime to connect this edge with this center in this place. Then I will do U to connect this edge with this center in this place. And after that I will do L, and then I will have already V. I can also predict that after these moves, I mean R prime U L, this edge will be here, connected with this center, and this edge will be here. So I can recognize which algorithm from as well as will happen. Okay, so doing it like that. Grip and algorithm. Okay, so that's all from me. I would like to thanks very much for inviting me to this video.
Okay, so I see like a 3-move V on blue. So I'll hold like blue on the bottom. The first thing that I would do is just bring this center down, and while I do that, that edge goes into place. And then before I bring this center down, I can just insert that edge over here, and I would probably take care of those tips while I'm doing it. And then rotate, and then all I have left is just a really easy L40 case, and I'd end with the tip.
Alright, so I'll do the blue layer for the scramble. I'll start by inserting this center in its place, which will also solve this edge. So when I insert this center later, like this edge is solved. And I also see that when I insert this center, like I can easily insert this edge over here, since this is the same color, like this will fit in there. And I can see that I'll have a yellow block, like since this will come over here, I'll have a yellow block and an edge on top, which is a really easy L4E, and I'll have a hedge at the end. I'll show you what I mean. So I'll start by solving these two tips, inserting the center, solving this edge at the same time, inserting this edge, and this is the yellow block I told you about. And for this L4E, like when you have a block, you just like you push the you face the color towards yourself and you push it out, and it will always solve it. And it's a sledge or a hedge depending on which orientation the edge is in, and this is a hedge, so yeah. And this step, and that's it. Thanks for watching.
Okay, for this scramble I'm doing the green, blue, red top. So basically what I do is I'll insert this edge into here, and then that will bring this edge here so I can insert it up here. And the last one, I'll just do a U R prime to finish the one flip. So I'll start off, I usually start off with 3 tips in the front, then these two, then this one, to create this easy one flip case, and then last layer.
So in this solve there's a lot of option that you can apply, but I see a very obvious one. It's the green. So here I will do R4E. First I'm gonna solve these tips, and then here you can see that there is this green blue edge that you can solve in one move, like that. But you also can solve this edge, the red green one, if you insert here with 3 moves. So like that, or you prime R prime, and you also have that edge who's solved. So yeah, like that, these tips, you have that very easy L40.
Okay, so just looking at this scramble, it doesn't seem like super great, but the main option I'm looking at here is from this angle. There's a 4-move V, which is like not super efficient or like optimal, but yeah. And from this angle, there's also a 4-move V, so I'm just gonna one look and see which one has a better case. That one's that. Oh wait, okay. I'm gonna have to find okay, I found the other one again. This one's definitely a lot better. It's a 6-move alg, but I think it'll be 8 moves to solve. So yeah, so for here I'll probably do like, oh wait, okay, I didn't see that it was that way. Okay, do those 2 tips, and then for the V, I can solve this edge with the center, and also move this edge over to match up with that center by doing R, U prime, R prime. Then I could just do an L, and that leaves me with this L4E. And I said it was a 6-mover, but I'm doing a M L4E, like an alternate angle alg. Wait, I think it might be 6 moves as well. I'll just count real quick. Okay, yeah, I think it's 7 moves with an AUF, so 8 moves. So it's the same amount of moves as if I were to rotate. So what I mean by this is I'm doing a different alg than I normally would do to save a rotation, and it's going to be the same amount of moves because like it saves 1 AUF. So I'll do that like this, and then the last tip. So yeah, I one-logged that in case you didn't get that in the beginning.
So as you can see, there aren't any immediate blocks in the scramble. One thing my eyes immediately drifted towards was yellow because it has this rather easy combination that actually will give me an L3E case, which is what I think is the best solution for this, at least within a limited amount of inspection time. So what I would do first is I would do these 2 tips, after which I would do a push with my middle finger to solve this last center of yellow. And now over here, as you can see, I have this case with this in the back, and the other thing is doing an R prime brings this edge up here, such that when I do R prime U prime and then L R L prime, I can rotate into a U lefty sledge and then these 2 at the last.
For the scramble, I did the yellow V and I held it on yellow bottom, blue front. So I solved the tips first, and I saw that I could force L3E by bringing this edge to here while solving this edge. So the way I did that was like this, to bring that there, and then to bring that there. And then I can bring in this yellow blue edge like that. And now I just have a L3E case.
The first thing I notice are these 3 tips. So I'll just keep that in mind for later in the solve. Now I see this edge could be paired up with the center by doing a U prime move, and while doing that I also solve these 2 tips, so like this. Then I also solve this edge by doing an L prime, which solves this bar, U prime connects this, and R, which inserts it. Now what I like to do is do some of the tips during L4E because I can't one look, and I actually look at the L4E edges while doing the tips. So I have this case, which is a pretty straightforward one, but my fingertips for that are a bit weird. So sometimes what I like to do is solve this edge, so U prime R, U sledge U. So you can use either of those algorithms for this case depending on your orientation or basically any solve. So pretty bad to decent scramble, but that's fine.
Alright, so this scramble was a pretty average solve, I'd say. So what I did was, well, I timed this first as 2.54. So I do these 2 tips first and solve the V by matching this blue, green up to there, and moving that other edge back too, and then that, and then in inspection, I didn't completely one-lock the solve, but I did see that this would be there, the red, so I'd have to do a U after inspection. I know that this is there, and I saw this piece too, so I kind of saw it together that I was going to get this L4E, so then just do a U and do that for the L4E.
So the first thing that I noticed in the scramble is that there's no blocks, so then I noticed this, and I see that this can make a block really easily here, but then I want to solve another edge, so I can easily solve this over here by doing an R, U prime, R prime, and then this will get solved as well, but I'm going to see other options as well. So yeah, blue is also pretty good. Blue is actually much better because I can move this in with an R prime, move this with a U and L. So it's a 3 move V, and that I think is a 4 move V, and I can even one look it, so I know this is not going to be this won't be broken. And once I do R prime U L, this center will move here and this edge will come here, so it's going to be like both the yellows will be solved, but not both the colors, but they'll be solved like this, and this edge will be here, so I'm going to have to rotate and do the L4E. So I'll solve these 2 tips, R prime U L, solve this, and
okay, so on this scramble I don't see many opportunities, but I see an interesting solution that will solve the V for me because I'm using L4E. So on red, I can do the tip first. Then I'm moving the edge over here. And then I'm doing a rotation which is not extremely good, but effective because I will put this edge as well in. So this gets me not so nice L4E case, but I'm gonna do it. So this edge plays right into over here and like this, and the final tip as well.
Alright, so looking around the puzzle for this scramble, I see that the blue and green over here, this can be paired up in one move with its correct center. So that's what I'll do as my first move, because I see the red blue and that can be solved like this. So essentially from this angle, R prime solves this piece and U solves this piece. So my first two moves will be R prime U like that to solve my V pretty much, just one move away. And to start off, I'll do the tips like this, these two, R prime U to solve V. So I'm done with my V. I'll rotate, I see this edge and I need to put it in the back because I use intuitive L4E. So this piece needs to go over here, that's the slot, but this way it would go in flipped. So I'll need to bring the slot over like that and then insert it in the back. And looking at it like this, I actually see these two are the same and these two are the same, and that pretty much, because after doing my back insert like this, I know I can see that this piece will come here, like this green sticker goes here, yellow goes here, and this piece in the back, it'll just come over here like I did a U move, because that's the only move in the, like L prime U L, that's the only move that even affects this piece. So I'm just going to do L prime UL to insert this in the back, and I know by exactly that method that I know I'm going to get a sledgehammer. So that would, and I would probably do the tip first before doing my U move like that. So yeah, and then I would do that. So yeah, that's how I would recognize L4E on that solve.
Here I will be doing a blue V, and my solution goes like this: R prime U L. So R prime U. While doing L, I'll just solve this tip and then this tip, and now I have this L4E case, which is very simple to execute, and then do a U move and finish off by solving this tip.
So that's about it for 15 Pyraminxers, 1 Scramble. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and bye.